So here's something that was put out by the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture about whiteness. Now, I have a lot to say about this, and I want to make my position very clear, all right? I believe that racism is wrong. I believe that everybody has tribalism in his heart that sometimes is expressed as racism. In the same way, every man has lust in his heart. Every woman has envy in her heart. We all have sins in our hearts, but we don't act on them. We know that they're there. We know we speak to God, and God knows that they're there, and he knows that our pretenses are just pretenses. Our sanctimony is just sanctimony. He knows when we're pointing at other people, we're just trying to turn God's eyes away from ourselves because God knows what's in our hearts. We all know we have these things in our hearts. Once you get to that assumption, you can only treat people according to the way they behave. That's it. That's it. We all have it. You're not exempt from racism if your skin color is darker than mine. You're not exempt from racism no matter who you are if you've been oppressed. And, you know, the devil doesn't care who does the hating as long as the hating gets done. So if racism from white people has made you racist against white people, you have essentially joined the pool of hatred, and the devil do not care. He just doesn't care. Okay? So that's my position. That is why I am an idea colonialist. I believe that the best ideas should colonize every culture. They came from white people, great. They came from British people, terrific. Good for the British, give them one of those little plastic trophies, best culture ever, and take their ideas. We take them anyway. We take those ideas anyway. I'm working on a computer that was invented by white males. I'm on the internet, invented by Al Gore. You couldn't get a whiter male than that, right? I use cars invented by white males, air conditioning, white males. All those ideas, I use them because they're good ideas. I don't care who invented them except to say, well done. And thanks. I am an idea colonialist. And by the way, I think that this is what's happening. The people who are pushing this race hatred that we're getting from the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture is pushing racism. They're pushing it because of ideas they get from white British males, ideas of freedom, ideas of justice, ideas of equality that came out of that culture to our culture and now have become part of their culture because they're here. That's it. It's the ideas. It ain't the color of the person who did it, because that's racism. So here's what this flyer says. I don't know. It's their course, basically, on whiteness. Whiteness and white racialized identity refer to the way that white people, their customs, culture, and beliefs operate as the standard by which all other groups are compared. Whiteness is also at the core of understanding race in America. Whiteness and the North. Can you imagine just switching this over? You know, blackness is, if I was talking about blackness now, I would just have to take out my teeth. Blackness, you know. But instead, it's whiteness, and the normalization of white racial identity throughout America's history have created a culture where non-white persons are seen as inferior or abnormal. Okay, now this is like putting on a pair of glasses so you don't even know what you're looking at. In order for this to be true, what you have to say is that the ideas that these people are pushing, which are American ideas, they're British, Anglo-American ideas, ideas of justice, ideas of racial equality, a Christian idea, also, perpetrated by white males, the ideas of equal justice before the law, all of those ideas are bad. They're bad, except they're good. They're pushing those ideas because they're good, but they're not mentioning the fact that those too are white male British ideas, right? So they're saying that these are the things that have been normalized. So what is it they complain about? Well, let's take a look at what this evil white culture is, okay? What does it include? Rugged individualism. The individual is the primary unit, self-reliance, independence and autonomy, highly valued, rewarded. Individuals assumed to be in control of their environment. You get what you deserve. Okay, so that's whiteness. That's the evil idea of whiteness. Now, I look at the black family now, which has been decimated by Democrat policies because they were paid essentially to have children out of wedlock. They were warned this was going to happen by their fellow Democrats. So Democrats said this is going to destroy the black family. Didn't matter because the feminists were in charge and said the family doesn't matter, fathers don't matter. What are we talking about? A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. Don't even worry about it. Now, more black children are born out of wedlock than during slavery days when Democrats were actually selling families to different places to break up the family. They finally succeeded through the Great Society policies, right? This is incredibly destructive. So now they're saying, well, that family thing, it's just whiteness. It's just whiteness. You got to understand. See, you're like a fish. They keep saying this. You're like a fish swimming in water. You don't even see the water you're swimming in. This family stuff is just whiteness. They might as well just go in, seriously, the Smithsonian African American Museum might as well just go in and poison the water in black neighborhoods. This is the most destructive, vicious, toxic thing you could possibly say to people who need one thing more than they need anything else, which is fathers. They need intact families. They haven't got them. But that's just whiteness. That's just whiteness. Here's more whiteness. Emphasis on scientific method. Objective. I'm sorry. This is pitiful. I mean, it's breaking my heart at some level, but it's also morbidly hilarious. Objective, rational, linear thinking. You evil white people, rational thinking. And by the way, that's only white males. A joke. Objective, rational, linear thinking. Cause and effect relationships. That's whiteness, with believing that things have a cause and effect. Quantitative emphasis, right? Okay, so that's really bad, this rational, objective thinking. You know, if somebody says, you know, you're not doing that right, you know, when you put the wheels on a bicycle, you want to put both wheels on one side. You don't want to put one wheel on one above and another wheel. This is why they keep attacking science and STEM. They're saying STEM has to be gotten rid of because things don't work if you don't do them through rational linear thinking. Listen, rational linear thinking is something that has been universal and simply has risen to great levels in European culture as the Christian culture, the culture of Christendom, led to science and into scientific reasoning. It's a wonderful gift, this thing, this science and technology, everything that this is being promoted on a computer that wouldn't exist without objective, rational, linear thinking. So what they're saying to black people, they're saying, you can't participate in this. This is white culture. It's like telling a kid he shouldn't go to school because that's what white people did. Really, again, they might just as well go into these societies and poison the water. And again, I've said this a million times, but I got to repeat it. These are our citizens. These are our brothers and sister citizens. These are, you know, I don't give a rat's about the color of their skin. And I know they tell you that's a racist thing to say, by the way. That's a racist thing to say, that you don't care about the color of their skin. I don't care if it's a racist thing to say. That's how racist I am. I am so racist. I do not care about the color of their skin. I want them to go to school. I want them to have intact families. I want them to use and learn objective linear reasoning. If that comes from Britain, if it comes from ancient Greece, I don't care. It's good. It is good. That's the thing we're talking about. It's not white and black. It's good and bad, useful and not useful, holy and not holy. Those are the things that really matter. What else? The Protestant work ethic. You white people disgust me with your Protestant work ethic. This is coming out of the Smithsonian Institute. This is coming out of the Smithsonian. The Protestant work ethic is whiteness. Hard work is the key to success. Work before play. You disgust me, you white people. If you didn't meet your goals, you didn't work hard enough. No. If you didn't meet your goals, it's the white man's fault. That's what you do. That's how you do it. This is what they're selling people. They're literally selling people and telling people that you should not feel this way. If you're a white person, you can feel this way. It's fine for you to feel this way, but you don't push it too far. Don't push it too far. Now, of course, anything, I suppose, including the work ethic, can be pushed too far. But status, power, and authority, wealth equals worth. I don't know if that's white culture. I'm not sure. Your job is who you are. They're just making that up. Respect authority. If it's really, I mean, this is the country that invented liberty. This is the country that turned liberty into a real thing. And they're saying that it respects authority. Religion, Christianity is the norm. Well, Christianity is the norm. That's just true. But it's more than that. Christianity is true. This is the truth. And you know how Christianity is true? You know why we know it's true? Is because when you don't do Christianity, you wind up doing the opposite. You don't do Christianity, you wind up doing evil. And that really is true. You can be good by clinging to Christian ideas without believing in Christianity. A lot of people do that. Still, if you really turn against Christian norms, you've turned against good. What else? Justice based on English common law when you could have Sharia. Communication, the King's English rules. This is another one that makes me nuts. Teaching children that they don't have to learn the King's English so they can talk in black street lingo, and that's going to elevate them. And they see a couple of movie stars, a couple of athletes do that, and they think, oh boy, I'm going to be like that. That's not the way it works. This is poison. This is toxic. And the question is, have enough white people been fed enough guilt that they buy into this destructive philosophy, that they are going to stand by and watch their cities burn simply as a way of beating their chest?